Hello again, it's me. Again, welcome to the Burgos household. I'm making the apple pie that I talked about last time. Except the filling's going to be a little different because we don't have any lemon juice, but my husband says that he has a different recipe for that. So we'll see how that comes out. But I'm going to make the dough first because that takes an hour. After I make it, I have to put it in the fridge for an hour before I can bake it. But yeah, so let's start doing that. So in a medium-sized bowl, we're gonna add the flour and the salt mixture, mix it with a fork, and then slowly add cubes of cold butter. You want 1.5 stick of butter. So yeah, we'll do 1.5 sticks of that, and then get our fork ready. So for some viewers, if you don't know, there's a difference between a cup of this and a cup of this. This cup is for liquids. This is for flours, sugars, solids, what you say. They don't measure the same. So, just for viewers out there that don't know that. So it's 2.5 cups of the flour for the pie dough. Obviously you can use Pillsbury, whatever already cracked pie dough. But there's no fun in that. And it tastes a lot better when it's made from scratch. So that's 2. And then we need a half. That's a third. So for my last YouTube video that I uploaded, I guess it was a day ago or so, I said I was feeling under the weather. I'm feeling a lot better today, a lot more energy. We did go get COVID tested, not because I trust those tests, but mainly for friends and family in case I am COVID positive, so I can quarantine myself and not expose anybody else. But me and my husband went, got checked out, got tested, and we are COVID negative. So I just had minor flu, just like I assumed. Again, probably because I took the flu shot. But it is what it is. So I have the flour in here. I want 1 teaspoon of salt. So I'm glad I'm feeling better, but it sucks that it's Thursday and it's, already the end of the week of my PTO, and we didn't really get to do much of what we wanted to do, but that's life. It happens, It is what it is, so can't do too much about it. But yeah. So I added the flour and the salt in there. Now I'm just going to mix it with a fork. And then I'm going to cut up this butter in little cubes, and I'm going to throw it in there. And then I'm just going to squish it to make this dough started. I'm working over here. You also want a little thing of ice cold water, because that's what you're gonna add about, I think it's 1 tablespoon, about 8 tablespoons of cold water to get that mixture going. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this butter up. Here, we only need 1.5 sticks, so put that half away. I'm just gonna cut that in like little cubes. You're just gonna throw the little cube butter and then break it up into the flour with a fork until it's kind of, you still want it to have some lumps in there, kind of like pea-sized lumps is fine. So you don't want it to be like completely smooth. I'll show you once we get this going. So I'm again just gonna add the lumps of the butter in there. And I'm gonna try and evenly distribute it around. Show y'all real quick. You can see. And so I'm going to then start smashing it with this fork. I messed up last time because I had these nice, I have these nice Viking bowls that we bought from Sam's, I think it was. And yeah, I was doing this last time, the first time I made this recipe, and with the fork and the flour, and it scratched up the steel bowl, of course. And that's why I'm using this older version bowl for this. It's gonna scratch it up as well. But we just wanna get in there and just smash the butter with the flour and salt mixture. It's November 5th today. We still don't know who the president is. We might actually not even find out until Saturday, they're saying now, so November 7th. Yeah, so all of America is like, oh my goodness. And I'm just over here like trying to bake this pie for my husband that's been wanting it for quite some time now. Something that I am doing a little different this time around with the apple pie is not only the filling, I guess, what we're gonna do. I'll make a part 2 video on that, but the apples that I'm using are called Macintosh apples, and apparently these are the apples you want for baking. My husband had one just by itself a few days back, and he said that it was really good and sweet. So I'm hoping that, yeah, they do this apple pie justice. So tomorrow's Friday. I don't know what we'll end up doing. Maybe just relax again with the dogs. Maybe check out a local brewery. Don't really have too many plans. But mixing this in. So I'll show you here in a minute what I mean by pea-size lumps when it comes to the butter. because once you start adding 8 tablespoons of water, it'll start getting that dough consistency. And this is only my second time making a pie dough from scratch like this. I've made a crust before in the past, and with my mom back in the day, like growing up, we used to make cheesecakes all the time. Anytime there's the holidays, cheesecake was our thing to bring as our dessert contributor. And we'd always make the crust out of just graham crackers. Crush the graham crackers in a bag and then some butter and mold it, and that was the crust for the cheesecake. So I think this is pretty much pea size. Show y'all real quick. I mean, it's not perfectly pea size, but it's not like huge lumps. You see how most of those little lumps are like smaller. That's what we want. Okay, so I'm gradually going to add the ice water into this mix. And again, I just want 8 tablespoons. So there's 1, do 2, do 3 at a time, and then I'll mix it. And you might not need all the water. You might need some, like, more water than 8 tablespoons. Just, you know, see it yourself, fill it out. You don't want it to be sticky or you want it to have that dough consistency. And once you have it in your hand, you'll be able to kind of feel it, what I'm talking about here. But yeah, we'll see. So alrighty. So I'm gonna add another 3 in there. I'm sure I don't get any ice. 1, 2, 3. So that's 6 total so far. I've added of water. Tablespoons. And yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there. Definitely needs more water. But again, you want it to be gradual. Not like just pour it all in there. Yeah. Maybe I'll make a YouTube channel of me and my husband making some Mexican tamales. We tried doing them one time. I think it was last year. They came out pretty good, actually. Only thing that they were missing, for my preference, were they needed more salsa. So I think you just add some more salsa. Drown in some salsa. Okay, so I did add a little bit more than 8 tablespoons just by looking at what this was, how the consistency of my dough was coming out. Yeah, so it's getting there. It's getting that consistency that I want it. So I'm gonna start using my hands. Trying to get my hair out of the way. But luckily this is just for me and my husband, so it's not like it's going anywhere. We're making it for a customer. Si le sale un pelo, pues le sale un pelo, ya. Se muere nadie, güey. Y sí hablo español también. No he hablado mucho español en estos videos, pero sí sé hablar español. Mis papás son de México. Mi mamá es de Cuernavaca. Mi papá es de DF, Mexico City. My husband's parents are also from Mexico, Monterrey. Both of his parents. So yeah. So let me show you this dough. This out of the way. Put a little bit of flour here so it doesn't stick. Which we'll probably need to put a little bit of flour here again whenever I roll it out again using my roller. Yeah, but from what I remember last time, this dough there was plenty of it to make for one pie. Good sized pie, just regular size pie. This. Yeah. So this looks good. Loving the consistency. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make it into a ball. Perfect. And all you're gonna do is after you put it into a ball, is just cover it with some saran wrap, put it in the fridge for an hour, and then it'll be ready to roll out so you can make it into a nice pie. Consistency looks good. I always guess myself, especially since this is only my second time making fresh dough like this for a pie. But I think this is perfect. Okay. And everything, of course, is made con amor. This saran wrap for days, years that my mom gave me. I don't know if we'll ever run out in my lifetime, but maybe. And yeah, so you'll just saran wrap this puppy like so. And we will put it in the fridge and let it do its thing for an hour and then see what happens, okay? I might start cutting the apples, so 1 second, let me put this in there. yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and do the filling as well. We'll start off with cutting the apples. I did get a apple cutter. Never bought one. But last time that I did this, I didn't even have like a core cutter, and I mean, it was doable, right? I was able to do it and came out just fine. It's just a lot of work. I'm not gonna lie. So, decided that this time it's gonna get a little help. All right, so just gonna wash the apples real quick, even though I'm gonna skin them, but still, just do it. Take these over here. Oh gosh, you really only need about 4 apples. Last time I used 4 apples and it was fine. This time I'm probably use 5 because I want it to be a little bit more filling in the inside. I know some people actually use a lot more apples than that because apparently they want the filling of the apple pie to be nice and thick. Personally, I don't care. I think for me, there is such a thing as too many apples. But again, I think that just comes with personal preference and what you decide. So, yeah. Again, to each his own. Yeah. So I'm gonna peel them first and then cut them with this thing that I guess you just push. Never used it. Guess we'll find out. Which also, just looking in here, I've never used this that I bought years ago, but we're Dachshund lovers. We have 2 Dachshunds, long-haired ones, which I don't know if I've ever shown in any of my YouTube videos. Probably not, because I just started this not too long ago. But this here is a hot dog cutter for hot dogs. You put the hot dog in there and you cut it, and it cuts out little pieces of hot dogs. For what? There's a water bowl here. I don't know. Maybe it's to dip for ketchup. I don't know. I don't know what this is for, really. I just thought it was cute and I bought it. Maybe I'll use it in the future. Who knows? All right. So, you know, the one thing I hate about apples is all the wax that they put on it. And I understand they have to because obviously these apple trees aren't just growing in our front yard and they're having to come miles and miles, but it's one of the reasons why I hate eating apples sometimes. I'm just going to make the filling like mine, just not put any lemon.
No.
Huh? What am I going to do then? Tell me, because I'm about to make the filling.
It's just
so what's the difference between what I have there?
For the filling, you have to, because you're making this, you make like a sauce. It's sugar, it's a cup of sugar, a quarter cup of water, flour, and butter.
Butter?
Yeah.
More butter. All right, Superman, we'll do it your way this time.
Yeah, stick of butter.
A stick of butter?
Mm-hmm.
A stick.
Yeah.
No mames, way. We don't need a whole stick.
Baby.
Okay. Hey, if this doesn't come out good, it's on you.
Sure is on me.
We're changing it all up. My recipe, though, for my filling, calls for 2.5 pounds of Granny Smith apples or Macintosh or whatever you choose, 3/4 cups of sugar, 2 tablespoons of flour, half a tablespoon or teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, a tablespoon of cinnamon, half lemon, and yeah, that's it. No, not anymore. But he's on over here to put damn stick of butter and he's trying to fatten me up.
Did you give me the dough?
Do what?
Did you give me the dough already?
Yeah. Did you not see the fridge? ¿Qué crees que nomás estoy acá haciendo panza? ¿O qué? Echando panza. Granny wants to go out. Also, whenever you do decide to make an apple pie, just, you know, get the apples the day you decide to get them. I mean, these are fine still, but they are starting to get a little bruised, but they'll be fine for these purposes. Yeah, I'll have to show you all my dogs. My little Graham is our first one we got about almost 5 years. He'll be 5 years March 23rd next year, 2021. He's a long-haired red Dachshund. He's so smart, such a good boy. He loves to... Oh, shit. Loves to cuddle. And then Snoopy is our other dog. She will be 3 November. Oh crap. Snoopy is November 28th. I believe is her birthday. And we actually drove to we flew to New Orleans and drove back with her. She is loud. More like a Dachshund, I guess, what people tell me. She wants all the attention, all the hands on her, 24/7. But she's so cute. She's a long-haired cream brindle Dachshund. Yeah. Wouldn't change them for the world. So happy I got a second one because Graham, he was good by himself, but when we would go home for work, I'm sure he was lonely. And I mean, right now, because of the whole pandemic, we're both working from home, me and my husband, so that's cool, and they're enjoying every moment. But when that wasn't happening, I'm sure he got lonely, and having her has been great for him, and they love each other, so that's great. So I'm almost done with these apples. He's figuring out the mixture over there, what we have to do, how much of everything. So yeah. My caldo tasted great, day 2, still.
Tablespoon.
A tablespoon is going to be right there, the big one. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so for those who don't really cook much, you know, tablespoon and a teaspoon. Tablespoon's always going to be TBSP, and teaspoon, the smaller one, is always going to be TSP without the B for table, teaspoon. Took me a while to know that. Wait a minute. The hubby's over there measuring things out for us. That way it's ready to go. Right, honey?
Yep.
Oh, that's what we need to do tomorrow. Let's go to Home Depot or something and find something for La Pequeña. So she doesn't escape. She can go outside. Alright, so let's try out this thing here, shall we? Let me rinse it real quick. I guess all you do is this. Oh. Mind blown. Yeah, where was this last time when I needed it? Perfect. Fucking perfect. Okay. Huh? Okay. You want me to move this? All right. Well, that was great. Only thing for me personally is I like my apples to be a little thinner than that, but that gets us started. And then I also see this thing right here. So part of the core still, I don't like that, so I'll probably take that out. Be more. It's in my eye. Whew. Yeah, so I'll simply just probably like cut them in half again. That's probably as thin as I want them. I like them thin. Everybody to each his own. If you like them thicker, great. I personally like them thin. But yeah, that helped save so much time getting that apple cutter. So glad again that I got it. So yeah.
Teaspoons. Teaspoon, the little one?
Yeah, teaspoon's that little one that you see in there. You see it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been an interesting few days off here in the Burgos household. I did sleep on the couch one day this week because I had a fever. I wasn't trying to get my husband sick. Even though he said I could sleep with him, but I just had to use my own blanket. And I was like, no, it's fine. I'd rather just sleep all by myself. But not really. The dogs came at one point and slept with me. All right, let's try this again. You done right here? Okay, let's try this again. So this one's a little crooked, but I think it'll work the same. Yeah, baby. Dude, that is awesome. I guess you just... Oh. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to take it off or not, but it's working. It is working. I'm just gonna poke it out of here. There it goes. All right. Looking good. Whoa, that's a lot, baby. Are you sure that's how much it calls for?
It's just 1
teaspoon?
Yeah, put 1 1/4. Okay. I just put a little bit of this. Okay. Yeah, you don't have to put you don't want to put the whole thing.
Yeah, it's whatever your recipe calls for. This is a duo. Part of my recipe, part of your recipe. Graham's okay out there?
Yeah.
But yeah. And also, I don't know where people were going to go get their COVID tests, complaining about. Oh, dogs are going crazy. Graham's going crazy. What's going on? All right. Cutter's awesome. Bring him in, honey. Graham, come on in. What's out there? Oh, no. Guess this will be a good time to show you my dogs. That's Graham. That's Snoopy. Say hi. Say hi. This is an apple. They love apples. Well, at least Graham does. Here you go, baby. Here. Here. No? Okay. Y'all eat it later. All right. Almost done with this apple cutting sesh. That really, I think, does take the longest. One of the longest steps of this apple pie. What's wrong? Yeah. Oh, what I was saying was, I don't know where people went to go get their COVID testing done when they were like, oh, shit hurts. They go all the way back to your brains. Yeah, I was fine. I mean, I don't know if things have changed since the past 6 months, maybe. Because I haven't had to get a COVID test because I haven't been sick until, of course, the flu season. But, yeah, it wasn't bad at all. Just up the nose, and then for me, because I had symptoms, they just did a little mouth swab one too, I guess. They have a mouth swab one, so it was fine. Anything okay?
Yeah. Make sure there's nobody back there.
Yeah, it was weird. He usually doesn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So it looks like a lot of apples, but once you put it in there, it's not going to be a lot. And I still have 2 more, so still going to cut these other 2. Okay, what time is it? What time did I put the dough in there?
I don't know.
What time is it right now?
9:20.
9:20. Probably been in there for about 15 minutes. So maybe 10. You gotta melt the butter. Well, apparently you gotta melt the butter for the filling that he's doing over there. Right, honey? You're just melting it, that's it?
You have to whisk it around.
Whisk it around?
Mm-hmm.
With, like, the apples and everything?
No, so you're gonna heat that up, let it cool, and then you pour it on top of the apples.
Got it.
And then you smother them all. And then
after it cools.
Yeah.
Got
and then you put.
And then you refrigerate it for a bit?
No, you just set it aside.
I'm gonna refrigerate it.
And you just put it on top of the apples. Coat them, and then you throw everything in the pie.
Okay.
So essentially, you also coat the apples with cinnamon, but you just put this sauce on top.
So we'll see what happens. Wash these apples again, huh?
We have one more.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. Great buy at Walmart. Great buy Wally World. Good old Wally World never lets you down, down. Yeah.
The butter's melted.
The butter's melted.
You put in the flour.
Okay. You gonna do it?
Yeah, please.
Oh, hold on. So the butter's melted.
You can add the 3 tablespoons flour, and you're gonna whisk that.
And then just let it cool in there or what?
No, we're not done yet. Now keep whisking so it's incorporated. It's gonna start getting like a thick consistency, kind of like you'll notice it. Almost kind of like a custard. And then you're gonna add a 1/4 cup of water.
Just regular room temperature?
Yeah. We're gonna whisk that.
Oh wow.
And you're gonna whisk that.
That's supposed to get?
Sugar.
Interesting.
You're gonna put in a cup of sugar.
1 whole cup. Whew.
You're gonna mix that until it starts.
And the fire's on this whole time?
Yeah, it's on medium. It kind of has a thick top soft consistency. So this is gonna go great as the filling with the apples.
And then you let it cool or what? Or are you supposed to add it with the apples?
No more. We should be done here in a few minutes, maybe a minute or two.
Okay.
And put it to the side. And then once it's let it cool, just pour it on top of the apples.
Got it. Hey, no barking, no barking. All right. Pequeña. Her nickname's Pequeña because she was so little. She's finally 10 pounds now, though. So she is her regular miniature Dachshund size now. We didn't think she was ever going to reach that, but she did.
After about 3 years?
Yeah, after about 3 years, yeah. She did reach it. So. Okay. So, are you supposed to add that, like right now? Because like mine was supposed to add it now and then put it in the refrigerator, and then whenever I roll out the pie, then I can pour it in there. Does that make sense?
Have you put the cinnamon on the apple yet?
No.
I'm done. So you can let it chill.
You have to let that cool off before I can put it in the apples. Right?
Just for a little bit, yeah. Like maybe like I don't know, but like 5 minutes or something. It's not like you have to be super cool.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 to 10 minutes. I guess you could have done this before you cut the apples, and by the time you cut the apples and have everything ready. I always know you put it. Then you put the cinnamon on the apples, and then you put thing on top. Whatever you put cinnamon on there.
Okay, so I'm gonna add everything that my mixture says, that my recipe calls for. I'm gonna add on my apples, and just add yours on top, except for the sugar, because you already have sugar in there, and except for you added salt in there or no?
No, I didn't.
Did you add cinnamon and nutmeg?
That's over here.
But did you add? Oh, that's what. Okay. And then, how much cinnamon and nutmeg did you weigh out?
Like a 1 and a 25, 1.25, 1 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, and like a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg.
Okay, that's fine. That's about what mine calls for. Okay. So we're about to add everything together, and then we'll refrigerate the apples, and then once the dough's ready, we'll roll it out and then make the pie. We'll preheat the oven before we roll it out too, that way it's ready whenever. Okay. So yeah. So I'm gonna add my apples here. A little water in there, that's fine. Right? Okay. So I'm gonna add the cinnamon. My recipe is 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. It's basically the same thing that he has here that he measured out. I think it's maybe a little bit more cinnamon. So I'll add that in there. Let y'all see that. Again, I usually put lemon juice in there, but there is no lemon juice, so it's fine. No problem. I want to add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt to this. Oh, this is 1/2 tablespoon. Where's the teaspoon? 1/2 teaspoon. 1/2 of a teaspoon. Okay. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Okay. And then we want to add flour. 2 tablespoons of flour.
I put flour in that.
In what? In that? You did? Okay. So you don't think we need flour in there? Okay. So you think it's okay to add? Sure, I wait.
Mix that around. Mix that spatula.
Okay. Mix this around. Which, again, it's only the cinnamon, nutmeg, a little bit of salt in here. And we're about to add that butter, flour, and sugar consistency that he has in the other bowl. So, make sure what it looks like here. go ahead and add the other stuff? Or?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. So, let me go ahead and add the other stuff.
That's good, man.
That's good?
Yeah.
Just mix this. It does look more juicier than mine. I will say that. Ooh.
How does it taste? With
Good? All right. So I guess let me just show you how this looks. Here. See how it's very nice and creamy? Yeah. So I'm not just gonna put this on in the fridge, right, babe?
Yeah.
Until our
Leave it out, I guess, too.
yeah.
I guess so. You got pretty much have to pop and that mean the dough now.
Just leave it out. And then, yeah. Part 2 coming. I know this was a really long video, but part 2 for rolling out the dough, putting it in the thing, filling it, covering it, slitting it, baking it. Probably need to give you a part 3 this time so you can see the final product as well. So, all right, thanks for watching, you guys. BRB.